You know, when I think of the streets, when I think about when I was growing up, you know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, I'm in my 40s right now. When I was growing up, right, you had some OGs. You had some OGs, in my section where I grew up at in the Bay Area, Richmond, California, to be exact. You had some guys who, that kind of ran the neighborhood to a degree. You know what I'm saying? They dibbled and dabbled. They did this, they did that. But for me, growing up as a young mustache, a young gentleman, you know, I didn't have the right guidance. You know what I'm saying? I come from a family of 5 kids. My mama had 5 children. You know what I'm saying? Father wasn't in the house. You know what I'm saying? He ended up passing away when I was a young, you know what I'm saying? When I was super young. So it's like I was outside at a young age trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? My mom did the best she could. But, when I went to school, walking home from school, walking through the neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? In low income housing, you around certain individuals, you around certain entities. And a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? The information they was pumping, the information that they was giving you, at least they was giving me, really wasn't beneficial. It was beneficial to them and what they was trying to accomplish in a negative way, but they wasn't trying to put quality, positive, you know what I'm saying, guidance into me. So just like this video is titled, "The Streets is a Myth. What is the value of street cred?" We gonna get into it. Because it's a lot going on right now in America. You know what I'm saying? I'm wearing all black tonight. Black shades, black hoodie, got a little, a little designer on it. But peep the vibe. This is one of them nights. And I look at it like this, right? A lot of people around my age always talk about, man, in my era, in my era. Like, let's really talk about that. Like, when somebody say, "Oh man, back in my era," okay, let's look at your era. If you come up in my age bracket, like I said, I'm 40 plus. When was the crime rate low in your area? Huh? When was that crime rate low? Or was you just out here pumping the same negativity that everybody else is doing? But yet you want to act like you down for the neighborhood. You want to act like you trying to uplift the community. But at the end of the day, what are you really doing, huh? Passing out turkeys, food drives, getting shoes, jackets, coats. That's cool. But what is you really doing? You know what I'm saying? And even in the Bay Area, we didn't really have gangs out here, but we still had streets and blocks. So my question is, what's the value of street cred when the streets is a myth? Do you feel? You know what I'm saying? What's the value of street cred when the streets is a myth? It's a myth, man. So I look at it like this, right? I look at it like we really are starting to have a shift in the black community, right? I mean, it's been bubbling for a while. I said this about a year ago. But as black people, especially black folks, it's not just black people, but right now, I'm a black man. So that's the point of view I'm coming from. That's the only thing I can speak on. But in the black community, in my opinion, there is a shift happening because regardless what the statistics may say, there are a lot of black successful men out there, women too. And anybody in my age bracket grew up in some type of impoverished type area, right? If you made it out of that area and you was able to prosper in life and get into a better position, one thing you will find out in most individuals around my age, what you will find out is that everything the streets was talking about back then doesn't apply today. All those street ethics and street codes and my block, my front porch stoplight, it doesn't exist today. So we come into a crossroad where you got individuals in their 40s and up looking back at the OGs that was our OGs now for back then, looking at how much power some of these street corner stop sign front porches had. The gangs, the street signs, what they claiming. They had so much power back in the 80s, back in the early 90s. But how did they use that power? Was they too focused on getting mink coats? Huh? Getting all the bad, you know what I'm saying? Getting all the bad women and pushing the nice whips. But what was the end result of them individuals getting to a better position? Because as they were going up, individuals was going up in their criminal activity. As they was going up, everything around them, their community, their cousin, their uncle, was going down. So I personally believe there's a shift right now in the black community for the fact that everything that was said back then was straight up BS. Was straight up BS, man. It was. Because yeah, you could say, yeah, I had street cred in the 90s. Yeah, I had street cred in the early 2000s. I had street cred in the 80s. But what did that do for your family? How did your family prosper? Was you able to take some of that money that you was making and build up your community, to build up your family? Or was you real selfish? Got whatever you can get. Once the feds kick in the dough, you doing 20, 10, 20, 30 years and your family suffering just as you suffering in that prison cell. Do you feel? So we gonna get into this first video. Oh yeah, this is the marathon. The Streets is a Myth marathon. This first video was one of my first conversations. This is called The Streets is a Myth. This is part 1. I put this out about a year ago. So we gonna get into this, man. We gonna chop it up. Really
Social media
conversations, man. Huh? We gonna chop it up and have those conversations. Let's get to it.
in that area, they don't want to accept low income housing.
Huh.
But you claiming that street block got it tattooed on your neck.
Mm.
You got it tattooed on your neck.
Right?
Bear with me. I'm getting in there. I'm getting it turned up too much.
There we go. Come on, let's get into it.
You got it tattooed on your neck.
Mm.
On your arm, your hand. But when you gotta move, huh? When you gotta move,
So check this out. Right now, this is talking about how you represent your street corner stop sign front porch, right? But the thing of it is, in that community you banging in, you slanging in, you so busy out there busting your plays, right? But did you think about owning the property? Did you think about trying to buy back your community, your area? Or was you too selfish and you wanted to have all the cred? You wanted to have all the glory for all the criminal activity you was doing and didn't even try to clean it up enough so you could put your folks in position. Let's go.
You did all that criminal activity.
Mm.
You don't even own the house that you staying in.
Woo.
And your folks got to move. You doing 20 to 40 years in prison. What type of support your family going to get?
Talk to him.
What type of support? That's what I want to know. So the streets is a myth to me. Because at least if you was a regular worker, right?
They don't want to hear
That
that.
ain't the popular thing, right? Well, it is now, though, right?
They don't want to hear
After
that.
you did
Talk
your
to
time
him.
in prison, now you get out and you figure out, oh man, going legit is where it's at. Oh, really? Let me check this out. Hold up.
See, this is what I'm saying, man. Peep the gang. I am Sean B. Stoller.
This, you that, you whatever. What your family get while you in? What type of support will they get? Tell me.
Talk to
Do
him.
you feel me?
Talk to him.
Shout out to my workers out there.
You got a regular job. You chose to do something better with your
Fortune
life.
500 company. If you put in 20 plus years in most jobs with great benefits, quality wage, you get some type of pension, 401k, retirement plan, social security. I know that ain't the cool thing to hear, but at least you get that for actually going to work and doing something with your life. Do you feel me?
Come on, man. Talk to him. Talk to him.
Do you feel me?
Talk to him.
So shout out to my workers.
Anybody that
Shout out to everybody who go to work and take
Right.
care of their family and do what they have to do because they was raised on that same block where they could have done the same thing that you was doing, calling that gang, but they went to work. And guess what? When you get paroled, who you gonna call to help you get your parole, get that situated? You gonna call that same person that go to work every day, that don't have a criminal background. They got a clean face out here. So you need y'all. You need us.
Talk to him. See, that's the thing, man. Nobody want to have this type of conversation.
Shout out to all my workers out there, man.
Anybody that's working and chose to do
Shout
something
out to
better
everybody
with
who
their life.
get out there and do something with their life and not doing any criminal activity to support their family. Because you could have chose that, but you chose a different path. Do you feel me?
Talk to him. Chose the different path. But
If you know better, you do better, and you stand on what you stand on.
They don't hear you though. They don't hear you though.
Shout out to my workers, man. So that was a little bit that I got from my coworker. We just wanted to chop that up. And I had to come on this mic and say this to y'all, man, because I know the ones who get it, get it. And if you don't get it, you will get it in some time. You will have an understanding. Please believe that. Do you feel me? You're going to get an understanding in some type of way. Whether you're doing that 20 to 40, which I hope not, or you figure it out, or you keep watching me, Sean B. Stoller. I'm going to give it to you, man.
See, this is the thing, right?
You know?
You got to really
And on
look at,
top of all that,
talk to them.
you know, you had somebody that was in the neighborhood of you.
Hold up. Before we go any further, look, check this out, right? When I say, what do you call a black man in America? Huh? What? Wait a minute. Hold up. Somebody put a note in here. Well, who put this in here? Say, what do you call a black man in America? Straight up. What? Look, check this out, man. Drop something in that super chat, man. And hey, man, support the channel, man. You know, if you're gonna comment, I'll read your comments. But you gotta at least drop something in that super chat to show your appreciation, or at least hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? But look, check this out, right? When you look at, if you 40 plus, right? If you look at how you grew up, especially if you grew up in any type of impoverished area, if you grew up around, you know, folks that didn't have much, but the street corner, the stop sign, the front porch, those individuals, they the ones who riding around in the nice whips. They the ones who out here getting, doing what they do, right? Have any of those street folks, those gangs, have they ever done something in the community positive with the money that they was basically stealing from the community by selling drugs there? It doesn't matter how they got there. You had a choice if you want to sell it or not. So my thing is, what is the streets? The streets is just people who either felt like they didn't have a better option in life, or it's people who couldn't see past the poverty that they were living in, that their family brought them into this world into, what they was raised up to be. They couldn't see past that. So who fault is that? I'll wait.
Street, block, corner, stop sign, color. Y'all knew he wasn't about that life. He worked every day. He or she worked every day, did what they needed to do to better themselves and for their family. Finally get up out of, you know what I'm saying, that poverty situation where they could have moved. Because everybody's talking about as soon as you make good money, you move, right?
Right.
What about that person that didn't move?
Mm.
They stayed in that gang area, right? But the problem with that is once that person, he or she, catapults him or herself to a higher level,
Mm-hmm.
where they are able to take care of their family,
Right.
maybe buy a quality car,
Mm-hmm.
fix up their house or apartment. Why is their house one of the first ones that get broken into?
Talk to
Huh?
them.
Why is their house the first ones that get broken into in your gang area? They not part of that life. They not affecting your bottom line, whatever that is. They go to work every day. But why is their house one of the first ones to get broken into?
Mm.
Come on, man. Somebody gotta feel me. Do you feel me?
I mean, this is not funny, but this is real life, man. I know somebody
It's
that
people in
actually
your neighborhood
went through
right
this.
now. And that gang community, that's not a part of that. They did it the right way, the legitimate way, but they get penalized. Most of them. I'm not saying all, because everything is not for everybody, and everything I'm not saying that everybody does this. But in general, I am speaking. Why are they are the first ones that get some type of criminal activity done to them
Mm.
when they just trying to take care of their family? They
Right.
want to better themselves. They didn't want to do that gang. You called them square dude, huh?
Right.
If you know better, you do better. Do you feel me?
And see, this is the thing, right? So basically, think about this, right? Hold on, let me get back on this screen. Think about this, right? It's like you grow up and it's like you look around you, you see what you have, you see what you don't have. I always been the type of cat, you know what I'm saying? Even as a young man, a young teenager, my first thought process when I seen somebody in a better position than me, even on the smallest level, my first thought process wasn't to take it from somebody, you know? So for me personally, when I look at that type of situation where, somebody look and see what you have, and I'm talking about adults, right? Young adult, older adult, whoever you are. Anybody that's an adult, right? When you see somebody in a better position than you, at least for me, I don't think about, oh, how can I take this from them? How can I get what they have without working for it? You know what I'm saying? Like, really think about that. Like, that's not my first mindset. You feel me? Like, I see somebody in a nice car. Oh man, I want that nice car. But my thought process of getting that car is not saying, "Oh, how can I find a way to rob this person? Can I find a way to scam this person?" That's not my first thought process. My first thought process is, first of all, if I see that they look around my age, I'm going to ask them, "Man, how did you get this car? Where you work at?" You know what I mean? Not to be in a business like that, but I'm just trying to figure out how can I elevate. You feel me? See, that's the part where if you hang around trash all day, what that mean? That it's going to make you some type of trash. That's my opinion. But if you hang around folks that's out here moving and popping in a positive way, trying to figure out how to elevate without trying to destroy the community or trying to take something from somebody illegally, that's the type of individuals I always try to gravitate to. But how do you do that when you in the neighborhood when everything around you is in shambles? Everybody around you is in survival mode. Like, how do you supposed to handle that? So for me personally, growing up in that type of environment, you come to a point where you come to a crossroad where you have to kind of figure out which way you're going to go. And if you don't have the right guidance, especially as a young teenager, if you don't have the right guidance, that's where the manipulation can kick in. That's where survival mode kick in. So you got manipulation, you got survival mode, and then you see this street dude, you know what I'm saying? This gang over here looking like they living a hell of a life while you looking broke. So it's kind of like you kind of like really in a no-win situation if you're not headstrong. And I think for me personally, growing up in Richmond, California, East the Hill, I had older uncles where they didn't really tell me everything they was doing, but I seen that they was going to jail though. So even in my early teens, I start to witness some of my close relatives go to jail for this, go to jail for that. And quickly in my head, you know what I'm saying? I figured out early, man, I don't want that life. I don't want to go back and forth to jail because I see how my grandmother was affected. I see how my mother was affected. And I didn't want to bring that pain to my mom because I was trying to represent a street corner stop line front porch. Do you feel? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I talk so much about, you know, putting yourself in position. Because if you make it to my age or even older, in most cases, you have witnessed or experienced a whole lot of things you had to go through to get to this point, man. So this is a blessing within itself, just for me to be on this mic talking to you tonight. You know what I mean? Because I could have chose something different, right? I could have chose the path all my other partners chose. Because I was broke too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, my mama did the best she could, but it wasn't enough. The only difference was I started looking at some of the math just on a basic level. Like, I got an uncle going to jail. He's doing 10. I got another cousin going to jail. He doing 15. My stepdaddy just went to prison. He doing 20. And I'm not even 15 years old yet. So just think about that mentality and the trauma a 10-year-old is going through, a 14-year-old is going through. And you have to process all that and go to school. You got to process all that and you still got to walk from school back to your house. So you got to go through that gang neighborhood. You got to go through your street corner stop line front porch individuals you got to go through to get back home and repeat it the next day. Do you feel? I'm not here to knock anybody. I'm just here to give you my experiences, my opinion, and my conversation. And hopefully you get a message from this. Because I'm not here to tell you I'm perfect. I'm not here to say it's going to be easy. You feel me? But you gotta want more than just your front corner stop sign front porch. You gotta want more than that, man. You feel me? So that was my first video I did. That was The Streets is a Myth Part 1. I had a part 2, and this one was unfortunately around the time Takeoff. Uh Takeoff from Migos when he passed away, unfortunately. So this one was The Streets is the Myth Part 2. And at first, Streets of the Myth Part 1, that was one of my earlier videos. So just bear with me on that. But you got to know where you're coming from to know where you at today. You know what I mean? And so this is Streets is a Myth Part 2. Rest in peace, Takeoff. Let's go. Yourself. Light stop sign front porch. Snitched on you? Huh? But they supposed to be the hardest out. They supposed to have all the reputation. They supposed to have all the street understanding, knowing, understanding your surroundings. But unfortunately, somebody passed away in the process of all of that. Which Takeoff I'm talking about? Rest in peace, Takeoff. So when will we as a community can really wake up and make some real changes, man? Because one thing I can say, I hear a lot, about that, the OGs and the youngsters, it's a disconnect. But there's another disconnect that doesn't get talked about. And that disconnect is not just the youngsters and the OGs, it's also the streets, the gang, the OGs, and the people who actually grew up in that community but chose a different life.
Mm. Talk to him.
I'm a product of that, where I grew up in a neighborhood where it was heavy crime infested, drug infested, gang infested. Well, not so much colors, but claiming street corner stop signs. Yes. It wasn't about colors. I'm from the Bay Area. But it was about street stop signs, stoplights. Because, like I said, I'm not trying to pinpoint anybody directly. I'm just speaking in general. I am speaking. I came from that, you know what I'm saying? Low income housing, Section 8, WIC vouchers. I come from all of that. But I can tell you today, I'm in my 40s right now. Yeah, I had friends that was doing criminal activity. I didn't choose that. I had friends that did a lot of the different criminal activity things and ways and schemes. I chose not to do that because as I started getting older, I started realizing, which I didn't know at the time, how a lot of these dudes out here in my era, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, they was balling, but eventually they went to jail. They got shot up. Family house got shot up. Cousins got killed. Uncle got robbed and beat, and nobody was there for them. Yeah, they there when it's time to put in work, but the aftermath of that, nobody was there. And yeah, you out here, you pushing P, you doing whatever you do, right? What happens when you go to jail though, and you're not able to bring that income to your street corner stop sign front porch? Who's going to help your family? You got kids, you know what I'm saying? Your grandma might got diabetes, she need help. You know what I'm saying? Getting her medicine. Is your gang, is your mob ties gonna take care of that? Yeah, maybe for a while. But what if you in jail for 20 years, 30? Huh?
Talk
Are
to
you
him.
really that solid? So I came from those type of conditions. I came from those conditions, but I chose a different path. I chose to work. That's why I did videos. I got videos on my channel talking about going corporate, understanding your position. Don't get finessed out of your position. Understand your surroundings. This is what I bring to you on my channel. I'm not bringing you a whole bunch of fluff. I'm not telling you about sliding on ops. I'm not telling you, I claim this street corner stop sign, front porch. I talk about real life situations and how you can better yourself for your family, your community, your loved ones. That's what I talk about. Do you feel me? Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment. You can share it. It's cool. You got to understand it's bigger than you, especially my young G's out there, young gentlemen. You need to understand, regardless what you're going through, especially if you're not really about that life that they talking about in these streets, man, don't do that. I was watching, it's $1 million worth of game. Shout out to Gilly and Wallow. And Wallow said some beautiful words. What he's telling you, which I've been saying on my channel this whole time. If you're not about that life, I don't care if you have money, or you could be a millionaire. You could be a hundredaire.
Talk to him.
If you're not really to commit to that life with everything that's involved with it, don't get in that. Mhm.
It's no
Right?
need for you to claim no gang, mob ties, YSL, none of that. If you're not really down to go all the way, meaning if you're not willing to do that time,
Mm. Talk to him.
possibly lose your life. Why even indulge in that type of activity? Why get involved with criminal activity when you really not about that life?
Mm. Talk to him.
That can save a whole bunch of lives.
Mm. Right?
And that's basically what Wallow was saying in so many words. It's no need for you to get involved in that life if you not really, you know, deep down in your side, in your soul, you know what you really about. And one thing I can truly say on this mic tonight, when I was living in those areas, low income housing, a lot of my friends, partners was involved in a lot of activity. I knew that wasn't for me. I couldn't explain it in our, excuse me, and articulate it the way I am tonight, but that's what was happening. I knew for a fact that wasn't me. I'm not finna stand on no corner, pack my ass full of crack, swallow balloons full of dope, and stand on a block. I'm not going to do it. Do you feel me?
Streets is a myth.
That is not my lifestyle. That's not something I was looking forward to. That's not something I'm like, oh man, I got to be the realest individual out here. No. You know what I did? I did go to college for a little while, didn't graduate. But one thing I figured out is that I like to work, I like to move around, I like to do things. So I started figuring out how to work in these different corporate settings over these years. And I was able to find my niche where I'm able to take care of my family. I don't have to look over my shoulder everywhere I go. Now I know it's a gray area, you know, things can happen no matter where you at. But the difference is I'm not automatically putting myself, my loved ones, my community in danger for the choices I made, knowing that wasn't me. And a lot of y'all individuals out here, I know for a fact, I can see it in your eyes. You're not built like that. And as soon as you get behind cell block 8 and they telling you them football numbers you're going to be looking at,
Mm.
you're going to be like, yes, ma'am. Do
Yes,
you
ma'am.
feel me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So if you're not about that life, there's no need for you to act like you about that life because you don't want that energy. So you better off just being a regular civilian. Go figure it out. Either work for a corporate company, go to school, learn a trade, or work multiple jobs till you figure something out. Or maybe you can rub shoulders with a balling individual where they can give you some game.
Mm.
Kind of like what I'm giving to you on this mic. Because
Mm.
all I bring to you was nothing but good game, good conversation, good motivation, and hopefully some type of inspiration. I am Sean B. Stoller. Do you feel me?
Mm. Bars. Talk to
See,
him.
I didn't want to do another Streets is a Myth, man. I didn't want to do it, but I had to. Because watching that $1 million worth of game, that got me inspired, man. That got me want to go back into it. But I'm not doing this to come at anybody directly. I'm just speaking my opinion. And in general, I am speaking. And hopefully, I can enlighten a few people or a group of people where you may be thinking about doing something, you know what I mean? Doing something criminal activity on the streets or involving yourself with some type of activity that you truly not about. Hopefully, by watching me, you can think about moving a little bit different
and choosing a more positive path for you when you know that street life is just not you. Do you feel me? Mm. Talk to him. You know you're not built for this. So why get involved? Just to show that you a follower? Just to show that, oh, I'm real like them. But then when you looking at them football numbers, you the first one telling. You the first one trying to figure out how to get out of the situation when you could have avoided this whole type of situation completely if you just didn't get involved. But don't be no follower like a lot of these dudes out here, like a lot of these individuals who want to get on this mic or they want to get on, social media and tell you how real and how street they are when 99% of these dudes is going to snitch. So why even get involved? Go get you a job. And if you love guns that much, once you go into the U.S. military, you know what I mean? We got a lot of guns for you. You can always be definitely go into the Army. Once you serve the country, man, if you love guns that much, instead of out here killing off people in your own community, just to say that you a real individual, because I got street cred, because I'm a gangster, really? So tomorrow when I go to the grocery store, I'm gonna tell a clerk, man, I got this basket, full of groceries. I'm a gangster. I'm not gonna pay for this. See how that worked for you. Do you feel me? See, y'all gonna get me started tonight. Talk to him. This don't make no sense, man. The same thing with John Morant from the Minnesota Grizzlies, man. I was watching Undisputed. Shout out to Shannon Sharp. And not the Minnesota, but the Memphis Grizzlies. He want to be so gang. From my understanding, what was said on Undisputed this morning, he got a partner. They was out in the parking lot after the game was over when they played the Indiana Pacers, if I'm not mistaken. They started barking or whatever, talking, whatever they was talking about. And then what was said was basically, y'all don't want the smoke. That's John Morant and his people telling some of the Indiana Pacers, you don't want that smoke. Like in a you know what I'm saying? Like in a hood mentality or a street mentality, right? Then all of a sudden, which they got on camera, that's what they said on Undisputed this morning, or at least yesterday morning. It's almost 12 o'clock now. They had an infrared light that was shining in the car of the, in a bus of where the Pacers in that bus that they were, looking to leave the stadium. And it's all on camera, from my understanding. So John Morant, friend was banned from coming to the games. But the bigger issue is, why would John Morant put himself in that situation? You worth over $200 million. And you want to say something in reference to you got shooters? Really? Is you really built for that? You willing to lose everything you have for that? And if you do have shooters, what's the point of coming out here and speaking on that when you worth over 200 million out here? Because I guarantee you those shooters that you're talking about, they don't have 200 million. They probably don't have 8 million. So you willing to throw everything away? Really? I hope my young folks out there, young G's, young women, I hope y'all really paying attention to a lot of these, what you call celebrity types, athlete types. And it shows that no matter how much money you have, if you don't change mentally, if you don't elevate yourself and elevate your surroundings of people that you have around you to have more positive, have more enlightening type of individuals around you, you will fall in that same pothole that all these other street types fall into. Do you feel? And I really dislike when people say, oh, I had to do this, I had to do that. No, you had a choice. You had a choice. You may have not liked the decisions that you had in front of you or choices that you had in front of you, but you still had a choice. So if you choose to do some criminal activity, that's what you choose to do. Talk to him. Now, if you force underage, okay, I'll give you a slack. But in general, I am speaking. I hate when a grown individual say that, oh, I didn't have a choice. I had to pack my ass full of crack, swallow balloons of dope to show these dudes around me that I'm real. Really? Talk to them. Do you feel me? Talk to them. They don't feel me though. They don't feel you though. So you got to show these same dudes, these same individuals that you real, where when you go to jail, they're going to be trying to holler at your baby mama. When you go to jail, yeah, they may send you a few boxes, but if you in jail for 20 years, how much they going to put on your commissary then? You know what I'm saying? Or if something happened to you, you get killed. Are they going to take care of your family if you got kids? Is that mob ties, that YSL, that gang, that stoplight front porch street sign, is they going to take care of all that for you? Because you ain't on this earth, but you got it tattooed on your neck and your hands, representing whatever that is. So you doing all that time in jail, or you not here on this earth, those same individuals going to take care of your family for you? Talk to them. And that's why I say the streets is a myth. Now, I'm not saying there is not no individuals, some real individuals out there. There are, but they're far and few. Because if you give me 20 of your hardest gang, street block, mob ties, anything, you give me 20 of them, and all of them looking at 20, 30, 40, 50 years, I guarantee you at least half is going to snitch. Because deep down inside, most of them wasn't built for that life. Deep down inside, they knew that's not what they was really about. And that's why I say the streets is a myth. Because most of these dudes don't even stand on what they talk about. Yeah, they there when it's time to party. When it's time to parlay and turn up, and you hollering at this one, y'all popping bottles, doing whatever, taking trips, going here, going there. Yeah, right? Or sliding on the ops when you on the offense, right? But when you looking at that time, your family start dying around you. How gang are you? How much are yourself you willing to put on the line to still represent that street sign, that stoplight, that front porch? Do you feel me? Got a peep game. How much of it then? How much are you willing to represent then? And on top of all that, is that block, street corner, stop sign is going to represent you like the way they say they will today when you looking at that time. And you need that support. Your family need that support. You need a lawyer. You done gave all your time to to these individuals. And when you need support, are they there for you? Yeah, they there for you in that moment. But
Talk to
over
him.
time, when it's not popular anymore, when nobody is speaking on your name anymore, are they still there for you?
Woo.
See, initially, most individuals will show that they real, they there for you. But over the years, when life starts changing for them as well, do you still get that same support? And when you get out, hopefully, if you make it out, if you go into jail, you do 20 years, do they have some type of care package for you? When you get out of jail, you do 20, 30, 40 years for that street light stop sign front porch.
Mm-hmm.
When
Talk
you
to
get
him.
out, they got some type of care package, stimulus package, some type of dental, medical. Do you get any type of support in that area? Or are they just gonna give you some trees, you know what I'm saying? Get you some of that Zaza, take you to the strip club and say, ah, nigga, don't trip. If you know better, you do better, but you only can do better if you're willing to change. If you're willing to admit this is not you. Don't wait for you to look at penitentiary time to say, oh, this is not me. Oh, it's too late now, buddy. You all in. Don't come back later on and say, oh no, this not me, man. That's not what I really wanted.
Mm.
Like, hold up. You wasn't hollering at him not too long ago. Now all of a sudden, when you looking at that real time, now you want to be like, oh, this is not the life for me. This is not what I really wanted.
Talk to him.
And my young individuals out there, really take notes in what you seeing out here when you talk about these so-called street kings or so-called mob or whatever they want to be. I'm not talking about no one specifically, but just really understand what you looking at. Because if anybody is telling you to go out here on dummy missions while they sit in the comfort of their home or wherever they laying their head at, are they really there for you?
Mm.
Especially if they some type of OG. You know what I'm saying? And once you do some type of criminal activity, and they probably been to the penitentiary. This the thing though. If somebody been to the pen multiple times, I would think they would want the people that's coming up from under them to want better and do better. Meaning, why would you put your little homie in the same predicament that you was in? Like the whole game, I thought the whole point of all of this in general was to make sure the one up under you have a better situation than you. So you mean to tell me you want to send somebody underneath you, somebody that's, you know what I mean, inspired by you, you want them to go through the same prison time as you?
Talk to him.
You want them to look at possibly life, 3 strikes? You want them to, they got kids involved, not to be able to see their kids to, you go in, your kid is 3, you get out, they 18.
Woo.
You want them to experience that feeling?
Mm-hmm.
So is that really love? Are you showing them a better way? That sounds like a dummy sending a dummy on a dummy mission. Do you feel me?
Woo.
Did you hear what he said? Did you hear what that man said? He said it's like sending a dummy on a dummy mission for a dummy. The streets is a myth, man. This don't make no sense, you know? Because it's like you got these so-called real street cred individuals out here, and then you got multimillionaire basketball players, athlete players want to be gangsters. Like, what kind of sense does this make, man? For what? You made it for the athletes or anybody that's a multimillionaire. Why the hell would you want to be street? To who? Who you trying to impress, bruh? You already got the bag. You
Right.
already in position.
Right.
All these dudes on the street looking at you like, bruh, you already there.
Talk to him.
So why would you want to be a gangster, be a street individual, but yet you on TV every day? Do you feel me? Woo! Come on now. Y'all gotta respect the channel. Y'all need to respect the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Show some support for this channel because this is the Streets of the Myth Marathon. You know, we got about 4 more videos. So just sit back and enjoy the show, man. And I hope y'all peep the message that I'm bringing. You know what I mean? It's laced around a whole bunch of game because that's what I do on my channel. I'm here to help, enlighten the ones who want to be enlightened and the ones who want to get gamed up. Just follow me, man. I'm going to take you there, huh? You on TV every day, but you want to be gang gang. Make that make sense, man.
Mm.
This video
Make
almost
that
a
make
year old,
sense.
man. You so gangster, you want to throw 200 mil away. You so gangster, you let Takeoff get taken out of here. Come on, man. Rest in peace, Takeoff. You so gangster, your whole YSL team is snitching on you, bro.
Mm.
And the list just gonna keep going. And that's another thing, man. I personally feel like all that old street code or uh, street standards is like a dinosaur out here, meaning only these old folks, OGs, and people that's influenced by these older generation is still living by that. Or I wouldn't even say living by that code, but more of trying to uphold a code that's dying, man. That old street mentality is a dinosaur out here, man. It's a dying breed, and it doesn't look like it's definitely not going to get stronger anytime soon. So
Mm.
any OG or anybody's trying to hold on to some old type of street cred, it's like a dinosaur out here, man. It's not real. And to all my young G's, young individuals out there, I hope y'all really paying attention to what's going on with these so-called street dudes.
Talk
Because
to
they pretty much dinosaurs, man. They like you know what I mean? They like the first iPhone right now, man.
him.
They're a dying breed, and they can't protect you, man. Because if that was the case, we wouldn't have had the situation with Takeoff. Come on now. Talk to him. You say nobody need to check in, right? Nobody need to check in. But if you want to get that respect, yeah, I watched it, you know what I'm saying? Jay Prince, what he said. If you want to have that respect when you in the city, be down with us. Well, what I look at is if I'm down with you, how are you going to protect me? You like a dinosaur out here. Yeah, you real to a few, but overall, you a dying breed.
Mm.
Nobody cares. Do you feel? Come on now. And all that old street mentality, man. Ain't nobody checking for that. 'Cause if that was the case, that situation shouldn't have happened then. When you have so much, so many connections. When you go to Texas, you're supposed to not necessarily check in, but if you want to, you know, feel like you get more respect when you walking through these areas, you're supposed to roll with them, right? But if you can't protect a multimillionaire, how you gonna protect anybody less than that?
Ooh.
Talk to them. They don't feel you though. So what's the point? And that's why I say the streets is a myth, and that old mentality of I'm not telling. You got the OGs out here showing paperwork, telling on an open case. And like I said, I'm not a street individual, but I at least know a few things out here. Talk to them. So I hope my young G's, man, young individuals, I hope y'all paying attention, man. Because that old school, you know what I'm saying? No telling, stop snitching, snitches get stitches. Man, nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares. Yeah, they care to a few, but overall, nobody cares. No whatsoever, man. And if you're not about that life, well, go back and watch a lot of my videos. I got a video saying going corporate. You know what I'm saying? Don't get finessed out of position.
Right,
Know
right,
your position.
right.
Understand your surroundings. Man, I'm
Woo.
giving y'all nothing but game and sauce every time I pick up this mic. Because I'm not finna tell you about no dumbass street shit. For what? Talk to them. It ain't gonna do nothing but get you killed or get you prison time. Choose. The choice is yours. Do you feel me? Ridiculous, man? And these so-called dudes supposed to be the realest in the city, right? In what city, man? I guess maybe just at their house they the realest, right? You know what I'm saying? I had to put some type of joke in there because this is just too serious, man. It's really too serious, and like I said, it's so much a disconnect, from youngsters to OGs, and on top of that, like I said earlier, people like me where you grew up in those impoverished areas, you grew up around, the criminal element, but you chose a different path. And to me, that's more gangster than anything. Where you grow up in a negative area, you know what I'm saying, a poverty area. Exactly. Talk to them. You see all your friends and relatives involved in criminal activity, but you tell yourself, you tell them, "Hey, man, you come slide with us." You tell them no. That's more gangster than somebody hopping in the car and doing something that you're not really built for. See, that's gangster to me. When somebody can say, "You know what? I don't have that money right now. I'm really messed up right now. Even though I need that money that bad, I'd rather sit here and struggle and figure it out than go out here and do some gang activity to the point where if I do it, I get away with it. My partner get caught. He's snitching on me, or I'm going to jail doing 20, 30 years and ain't nobody there to support me or my family. So what's the point?" Woo! And that's why the streets is a myth. And this is part 2. Do you come on now? Did you understand what was just explained? Come on now. I dropped this video almost a year ago. Well, it's been about a year now, man. You know, you got to understand all that old way of thinking, it's not working. Matter of fact, the more I think about it, it never worked. It's just that people were so fascinated with the power. Let's go.
You feel me?
That's why the streets is a myth. And I had to come and drop this part too, because it was well needed. Mm. Yes, sir. And hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment. You can share it. It's cool. Mm. You know, you got to ask yourself, when you get put in these situations, especially if it's somebody that love you, right? If somebody love you, no matter who it is, why would they want to send you on any type of dummy mission or want you to do some type of criminal activity if they really love you? Right? Why would they want to involve you in anything illegally where you can face some serious time? Now, I ain't talking about some, you know what I'm saying? Some petty things. I'm talking about where your life is in danger, or you could be facing some serious jail time. If somebody say they love you and they put you in those situations, is that really love? Talk to them. If somebody love you and something happened to you and they don't show no real remorse, is that really love? If you worth over 200 million and your partner is quick to pull out a gun and clap somebody while you there, is that really love? Talk to him. See, I'm not here to bring the fluff, man. I'm not here to tell you to do some low frequency criminal activity. I'm not here for none of that. Right? I'm here to elevate in a positive way. And hopefully it's something I say to help you move a little bit different in your day to day when you're dealing with certain type of individuals, because you got to really understand yourself first and understand your surroundings and make adjustments based on your situation. See, that's the thing, right? That's the thing. You have to make adjustments based on your situation. Huh? You know what I mean? Like for real though, like really think about that. You got to really think about that, because at the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, you had a choice. If you were grown adult, you had a choice, regardless of your living situation, regardless about who's around you. Because check this out, man. Whether you say you had a choice or not, if you go out there and rob a bank and you get caught, you can't say, oh, you know, I'm only doing this because they made me do it. Like as if the police, the judge is going to be lenient towards you for the fact that you a grown adult out here, but based on your living conditions, based on where you grew up at, who you know, you decide to run up in this bank and try to steal some money out the bank, but you got caught, and now you're trying to say that, oh, you know, I was forced to do this. I didn't have a choice. Man, they're gonna convict your ass regardless or not, bro. They ain't trying to hear that. So just like they not trying to hear that, I'm not trying to hear that. Because I just explained to you, I grew up in a lot of these areas. You know what I'm saying? Where I grew up at, it was real tough, man. You feel me? It was a lot going on. But I chose a different path. I'm not saying I'm perfect, not at all. But when it came to criminal activity, oh, I knew I wasn't ready to go to jail. You feel me? I don't want to take penitentiary chances just for a few dollars. Do you feel me? You know what I'm saying? That's not it, man. And that brings me to the next one I did. I did another video called "The Streets Is Dead: Digital Reputation." I tell you, man. You new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. You know, because you gotta understand that. And let's get into it. Any type of major corporation in the days, back in the days, you had to actually fill out an application, a paper application. Yes. Right. Nowadays, that's unheard of. Talk to me. That's unheard of nowadays. Right. Who writes on who writes out a physical application on a piece of paper? Maybe a couple of mom and pop jobs that's still out there. Right. But overall, in general, I am speaking, of any type of major corporation, things of that nature. They usually have a scan bar, if you go into a restaurant, some type of major corporation establishment, huh? Usually have like a scan bar you can scan to download the application right to your phone. Right. A website you can go to, everything is done paperless. That's right. That's part of your digital reputation. Come on. Come on. It's all connected. Now, not just a job application, right? It's not just a job. Think about this too. If you have a criminal record, you know what I mean? I know, I hear about some felons being able to expunge, a lot of things on their record, right? But certain things you cannot expunge, like from my understanding. If I'm wrong, somebody leave a comment, whenever you watch this video. But like if you get a charge of rape or, something like that, you have to register as a sex offender. You know what I'm saying? If you plead that, that you rape somebody, you take you know what I'm saying? You take a deal or you get convicted or whatever the case is, just for a sex offender type situation. I'm not condoning that. I'm just using this for example, just to make it very clear of what I'm saying right now. So here in California, I'm in the Bay Area to be exact. If you are labeled a sex offender or something like that, in California, you have to register. Now, once you register, right? Once you register, you are now public access to a degree. They have different websites where you can pull up certain type of criminal activity charges. You know what I'm saying? And when you have to register in that situation, if you have some type of homeowner association, some type of program where you live at, where, you can do a background check on certain people, because once you register, you're public access, huh? So you can actually, because of your digital reputation, you will not be able to live in certain areas in California here today in year 2023, and so on, continuing on in the future, huh? Because of what? Your digital reputation. And like I said, I'm not condoning any type of sexual, conviction or anything like that where you have to register. I'm not condoning that in no type of way. I'm just making it a clear example of what I'm saying about a digital reputation. Now, we're going to get into a few other things because your street dudes, oh yeah, I got something for y'all too. You feel me? But your digital reputation, when they run your social, right? Because eventually, my opinion, what I believe, what I think is going to happen, they won't even need your social anymore. You know how everybody love putting their videos on different social media platforms, huh? Giving free access to a lot of your your family tree pictures. You know what I'm saying? You giving complete free access, huh? Giving free access. So because they have that access already, and a lot of these platforms that you go on, you upload your video, huh? You talk about, you know, what's going on with you, and if you had a bad day and all this and that. All of this, once you upload that to whoever social media platform you go to, you are now public access. Now, think about that, right? If you're looking to get hired at a major corporation, think they might be able to access some of that information? I'm just saying. You got to really peep game, man, and really understand. It's bigger than just the basics that you used to. It's bigger than what you're using it for. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. There we go. You know what I mean? So you got to think about that, right? And just think about that's why, some people be like, oh, I don't want to be recorded. Well, unfortunately, depending on where you're at, if you're in a public setting, I don't think you can control a public type of setting. Now, if you're on a private if you're at a private location, you're on private property, that's a different thing. But you got to understand though, what is your digital reputation? Do you feel? You know? Like really think about that. And it's funny, right? It's real funny because, a lot of folks like to say, who they're affiliated with. If they're in some type of gang or they claim certain blocks, neighborhoods, street corners, stop signs. Oh yeah, y'all street dudes, yeah. To all y'all type of individuals that love talk about, where you grew up at, what type of neighborhood this is. My cousin used to do this. My uncle used to be banging. He used to do this for 30 years. He used to stand on this block. He had this many kids. And you giving all this information to the internet because you a real individual, huh? You giving all this information to the internet, and you want to point out who's real, who's not real. So, to all my street dudes, huh? Street individuals, huh? To y'all type of individuals, I will say this to you. Think about this. So every time that you try to verify somebody's street code or street cred on the internet, and y'all all on different type of platforms, or it's a group of y'all or a couple of y'all, you know what I mean? You talking about who's your daddy, what block your dad grew up on, and what street you used to represent. Just think about when you have those type of conversations on the internet. Just think about everybody that watched that video. This is something for y'all street dudes out there. You wonder why you getting certain type of cases put on you. See, I talk about the working man first, but y'all street dudes are killing me with it because it's funny, right? So y'all street dudes love talking about where you grew up at, who your uncle is, who been doing this, who been doing that on the internet to a whole bunch of individuals, right? And then you wonder why certain folks around you start catching cases. You wonder why. You like, man, I'm good. I'm good. I haven't did nothing in 20 years. But little, I'm gonna name him Little Chopper. So Little Chopper, everybody know Little Chopper. He like in his early 20s. He out here doing his thing, right? Little Chopper out there banging, and all the OGs know who he is. So they talk about Little Chopper on the internet. So just because you an OG, you ain't banged in 20, 30 years, the statute of limitations is up for you, right? You know what I'm saying? But Little Chopper, he's still active. He haven't been on this earth more than 30 years. So whatever he's into, he don't have that, you know what I'm saying, expungement that you may have, OG. He may not have that type of leniency where he can discuss criminal activity or possible of criminal activity you may have been involved in 30 years ago, because the statute of limitation is up for you. But Little Chopper, it ain't over for him. Little Chopper, he's still active. And yeah, you may switch up the names, but once you start naming where you're from, what you're claiming, who your uncle, who your daddy, you so slowly, you know, I personally feel indicting or opening up that can where, yeah, you got all these average folks maybe watching your live or listening to your audio, but eventually them other fellas is gonna listen to your audio and watch your videos. And I'm talking about the police, the feds, huh? And depending on what state you in, the RICO Act, hey, ask YSL, ask Young Thug, ask Gunna. Or you can be like Bootsy, huh? You can be like Bootsy out here, John Wicking it with the chopper in his back, and his homie is recording it. Now, I don't know if his homie is working with the feds, but hey, that ain't my business. I'm just trying to tell you something, man. Check this out, Playboy. What is your digital reputation? Because what you're putting out on these different platforms, what you want to expose yourself doing, because you so real, you so in these streets, everybody know you. And you're gonna tell who everybody is when you're on these different platforms. So in my opinion, you're slowly indicting other individuals into your criminal activities that you may have done so many years ago. So for you, you're good. But Little Chopper, what about Little Chopper, huh? Do you feel? I'm just saying, man. Somebody gotta say it, huh? You know? And I use that, that's just an example to any young person that's thinking about or continuing, I should say, putting a lot of your business on the internet, bruh. To any young G, young gentleman. And when I say young G, I'm talking about a young gentleman. Any young G out there, if you're involved, I don't recommend it, but if you choose, it's your life. If you want to do some type of criminal activity, don't put it on the internet, man.
Right.
You feel me? You know
Right.
what I mean? And definitely don't be on no type of internet talking about what block you claiming, because you're going to end up like Casanova, bruh. You
Who?
feel me? Because when Casanova was going into prison, I said in my last video, he said he was a whole gangster.
Not
Now
cat.
look at him now, man. He want to disassociate himself from
Two
what?
times.
His reputation, his digital reputation for what he's known for. Because when you type in Casanova or you type in Casanova 2 times, what do you get?
Mm.
Do you feel? Not Casanova 2 times. You know the homie that had issues with Troy Avenue. See? I am Sean B. Stoller. All I bring to you was nothing but good game, good conversation, good motivation, and hopefully some type of inspiration, huh? We're going to keep this thing rolling. Now, if you're
Talk to him.
feeling me, man, go ahead and put a 1 in the chat. You feel me? If you're feeling real good, drop something in the super chat. I appreciate that as well, huh? Oh, yeah, we cooking. We cooking. But what is your digital reputation? And also, don't forget, I mean, we're going to get back on y'all street dudes, but we're going to get off of that for a minute, right? Because it's something bigger that's way more important. To anybody that's looking to get a job at these different major corporations, looking to get loans, business partners, so on, you want to take a look at what you're putting out on these different platforms, social media wise.
Yes,
Because
sir.
some of these
Sir.
companies actually do a deep dive and
Yes,
try to
they do.
find out what is your reputation like in the
Mm,
public, meaning what you're putting on the gram,
mm.
YouTube, whoever.
Huh, that's facts right there.
And that can determine if they're going to hire you or not. That can determine if they want to do business with you or not, huh? So just, if you don't believe me, go watch some of these dudes who's talking about doing business, and then they turn around and tell you, "Oh man, I had to calm down. I had to take some stuff down off my YouTube. I had to take certain things off of this and that because some of the people I want to do business with, they looking at you, especially if you on here trolling folks. You out here, you feel me, talking reckless, talking about, somebody run up on you, you gonna pack them out or do whatever. Listen to how they talk when they talking about doing business with other individuals or a corporation. They
Talk to
really look at your social media, especially if you got a lot of followers, because that ties into what type of business deal they're going to work with you on, huh? Especially if it's anything involving social media, that's why wouldn't they want to check your social media? And
them.
if it shows that you too reckless at the mouth, you talk too crazy about folks where it can put you in a legal situation in a lawsuit like a Tasha K situation, huh?
Who
Now
talk
folks
to
is they're not gonna want to do business with you because you know what it was? They looked at your digital reputation. Huh?
'em?
Do
Yes.
you feel?
Come on, man. I've been giving y'all too much game on here. Hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. Hold up. Digital reputation, huh? See, what I've been bringing to you now, those first two little videos I gave to you, right? The Streets is a Myth, part 1 and 2. Those videos are months apart from each other. You know, even with this video I'm playing for y'all now, you know what I'm saying? Digital reputation, the streets is dead. This video probably was done maybe about 4 months ago. All my videos, everything I bring to y'all visually, all my videos are cohesive together. They all pieces that connect to each other. See, it's one thing about the streets, but you can't forget social media. You can't forget your digital reputation. We in a digital world now. Everything is online. Everything is accessible. It is accessible. In some cases, whatever you delete off your computer, off your iPhone, off your tablet, can be retraced and retrieved even after you delete it. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Who bringing this sauce to you the way I bring it, huh? Right? Talk to him. You know what I'm saying? I try to lace you, keep your boots laced. When you rock with me, that's what I bring to you. I try to keep your boots laced out here, huh? Mm. 'Cause my whole thing is I'm not telling nobody what to do. I'm just giving you my opinion, and hopefully you see something positive in it where it makes you want to move a little bit different than what you used to, huh? Mm. Come on now.
Gotta
Because it's
feel me
like
on this. Years ago, I can take it back to like 2006, 2007. Back then, certain corporations were checking not just your credit to work with them, it was also checking your Facebook.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? It was checking little, what was the other one? MySpace. They was
Mm.
checking different platforms that you may be associated with to see what your digital reputation looked like. Now, keep in mind, this is back in '06, '07. Imagine what they can access today. Whew. You know what I mean?
Talk to
So
them.
you got to understand that. And it's like sometimes it's not even you, it's the people around you.
Mm.
It's the people that want, you know, oh man, I'm about to put this on my channel. I'm about to put this on the, on the gram. I'm about to put this on different whatever, right?
Mm. Talk to them.
This is the time when you want to start checking your folks around you, the individuals around you, to let them know, hey man, when we do certain activities, this is not to be recorded. You know
Mm.
what I mean? Because everything is not for social media. Not everything. There's nothing wrong with you using. I'm on it now. I'm on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I love YouTube. I'm on here all the time. I mean, I'm not just a creator. I watch a lot of YouTube. But at the same time, YouTube has terms and conditions. So it's funny, right? All these different platforms that you use on your cell phone, on your iPad, on your Kindle, you know what I'm saying? On your tablet, right? On your Xbox, your PlayStation, come on now, your television, all these different electronic devices have terms and conditions.
Mm.
So why don't you?
Mm. Talk to them.
Why don't you have a terms and conditions of your surroundings? Why you don't have a terms and conditions when it comes to friends, a family ship, a friendship, a relationship? Do you feel?
Talk to them. Talk to them.
You know what I mean? Trying to tell you, man. Your digital reputation, the streets is trying to
They,
tell you. See, I've been kicking
you
this
know?
for a while, man. And it's like as I have gotten older, I really like and I always been a guy of course I like to I'm a guy that like to think a lot, but I like to really analyze situations a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm the type to really look at, okay, if this is the problem, how can I make a solution out of this situation? How can I come up with a solution for this situation? You know what I mean? It's like I'm the type of individual where when I come across a situation, I always try to look at it from the outside looking in.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Meaning
Right.
it's like instead of me just focusing on what the problem is, I'm the type to try to figure out why was it a problem to begin
Okay.
with.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So when you look at your digital reputation, a lot of these situations you can avoid because if they don't have access, if it's not available for them to access it, it cannot be a problem, huh?
Mm. Come on,
You know
man.
what I mean? Because see, that's the thing, man. The whole point of this, the whole point of that video, you got to go and watch my full video, right? I'm just giving y'all, pretty much like the meat and potatoes of a lot of my videos that's based around streets is a myth. Because, like I said, man, from the beginning of this video and also on my channel in general, all my videos are connected to each other. See, I don't just come on YouTube, I don't come on the social media and just talk reckless. I really have a purpose in the direction of my conversation. I don't know what I'm gonna say, but I always try to make sure my content connects to each other. You know what I mean? I'm real strategic on how I do certain topics. You know what I mean? Because a lot of information I talk about, you know, I wish, I had a OG or somebody older than me to really put that, come and help me and give me that information, in a different way in my time. And that's why I created this channel, just to let y'all know, anybody new to my channel. This channel was based around real life situations, things that I experienced personally. And not just that, not just that. Also, my experiences today as I make it relatable based on, the conversation piece, based on the topic I want to discuss. You feel me? But just know this, with Sean B. Stoller, all I bring to you is nothing but good game, good conversation, good motivation, hopefully some type of inspiration. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, leave a comment. You can share it. It's cool. You feel me? I drop something in that super chat. I appreciate that, huh? You know? And it's like, when it comes to these streets, man, I don't know how I can say it any other way. Is that these streets they really did. All that old school way of thinking, it's over with. I mean, most people get they marijuana, they get their trees, they get their Zaza from the dispensary. You feel me? So they ain't even get no trees from no dude selling it on the corner, man. They going to a dispensary because what? A, they know exactly what they getting, and B, they feel more safer buying it from an establishment. You feel me? So, and eventually, I personally believe, just bringing up the marijuana, the weed thing, right? I feel like, when you go to the store and you get you some candy or whatever, they gonna have a whole section in a regular store, your local 7-Eleven. They gonna have a whole section where they just got a whole category for, trees. You feel me? You can pick out whatever you want and just ring it up like regular. I think that's eventually gonna happen, but I'm saying that to say this. All that old school way of thinking, all the old school way of hustling, you have to evolve to where we at today. That old street code, of course, it's been gone. So what are you doing today? How are you being a productive person in your own community? Huh? I'm just saying though. You know? I'm just saying though. So we got one last video I'm gonna put up here. And I appreciate any, a few people. I got a couple of people that have been rocking with me since I first started this live. So thank you for sticking around and watching this live with me. And you know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. Definitely. And let's see. So we got one more video, and this last one, I really can't describe it, right? I can't describe the streets. I mean, I've been giving you all these different conversation pieces throughout this whole live, right? And I got this one last video we got to tap in with. Let's see. Hold up. Where is it? And this is one. This is one of the ones right here. This is one of the ones. Let's see. What we got? Hold up. Where'd it go? Where is? Oh, here we go. And this one is called F Your Street Code. Your street code. Oh, here we go, man.
Talk about
This
this
is the one.
street code.
Talk to him.
I'm trying to figure what's the benefit of being in any type of street, block, stop sign, front porch, whatever color you're claiming, whatever block you claiming, whatever spot you living at. You want to call that your little empire? You want to say you the man?
because you going after people that's less than, or you trying to take advantage of people, you trying to rob people in your own community. Mm. Because either A, you don't have it, or B, you jealous because you couldn't get it the way they got it. Mm. So I'm trying to figure out what kind of street code is that? Mm. What kind of street code? So hold up. Check this out, man. Let me break it down, right? To all y'all street dudes, right? All you dudes who claim y'all street, you gangster, gangster, gang, gang, whatever street block stop sign that you claim. What are you doing positive in your neighborhood? Mm. Don't tell me about who you're sliding on. Don't tell me about, oh man, we had to run up and do this. We had to go chop down that. I mean, we all know how that movie end, right? Most people seen the TV series Snowfall, huh? Most people have seen Power, huh? BMF, huh? Old School New Jack City, huh? I mean, how many movies do you need? Menace to Society, huh? Boys in the Hood, huh? We all know how that movie ends. Mm. Tragically, on both sides, on all sides. So what is the point of you saying you a street dude that's beneficial for your community, for your people, for black people in general, or any people at that? What point of it is you being a street dude? What's the benefits? Tell me. What is the benefits? So you mean to tell me if I become a street dude, right? I'm gonna get a 401k, I'm gonna get life insurance. I know I'm gonna need life insurance, right? You know what I'm saying? Because we dealing with a dangerous game, right? So I'm gonna get life insurance. You feel me? Get a 401k. If I go to jail, or better yet, if I get killed, my family gonna be taken care of. So you telling me that's part of the perk package? Is that part of the perk package? That if I become this street dude, all these things is going to be taken care of, other than me going out there getting a job and either going to school or learning a trade? Mm. So I'm going to skip all that and become this street dude, huh? I'm going to become this street dude and do all this prison time and come out to what? Mm. Talk to him. Talk to him. I'm going to do all this time, and what do I get at the end of that, huh? What do I receive because of that? Mm. So you mean to tell me I go to prison? My kids, I go to prison, my kids is, toddlers. When I get out, they're going to be damn near 18, if not in their 20s. So when I get out, my kids' college tuition going to be paid for. They may needed braces, all that's going to be taken care of, right? Because I'm claiming this street signs, front porch, stoplight, huh? Since I'm claiming this street corner, stop sign, stoplight, my whole family gonna be taken care of because of that, right? Is that what you telling me right now? Is that what you telling me? Because if not, I mean, if you love guns so much, you know what I'm saying, United States, we got this great military you can go into. They got choppers all day for you. Big missile launchers, you know what I'm saying? Tanks, whatever you need, we got it for you. But yet, you want me to claim the street corner stop sign front porch, and I go to jail, my kids don't get no support. You know what I'm saying? And one of the homies, right, who was loving my baby mama every time we come, he come pick me up or we go do something. You always got a compliment to say to my girl. So now I'm in prison doing 20, 30 years. Now my best friend is sleeping with my girl, though. Is that the benefit? Talk to him. Now I'm calling to the house collect, and he answering the phone like, "What's up? What are you calling for?" What the fuck you mean? What am I calling for? Huh? Do you talk to him? Talk to him. What do you mean? What am I calling for? You supposed to be my partner. You was a certified slider with me. We was both claiming that street corner stop sign front porch. We both was claiming that. You said you was gonna help with my family and all that, but I didn't know you was gonna help like this. I didn't know that come with perks with you sleeping with my girl or my kid's mom. Regardless if she left me or not, you my partner first, right?
Talk to him.
You my partner first, but you gonna be laying up with my girl, right? Or my kid's mom, right? You already know if you my real partner, you know how I'm gonna feel about that. I'm gonna feel some type of way, right? And you know what I'm saying? I know a few cats that have done some serious time, right? And that first year, yeah, a lot of your partners, they gonna help you out. But when you get to year 5, you get to year 10, how many still putting money on your books? Who's still sending you them boxes full of oodles and noodles? Huh? Who's sending you them pictures, man? I'll wait. The streets is a myth. So you wonder why. And then on top of that, you wonder why when somebody grew up in the same neighborhood that you are in, when somebody grew up in the same neighborhood that you are in, right? You wonder why once they figure out and get their life together, got some type of corporate job, or better yet, maybe even went into business for themselves, what is the first thing you think they're going to do? They're going to move out that hood. They're going to move out of that gang, street block stop sign. Because they know at the end of the day, even though y'all supposed to be certified sliders and all this and that, right? They know at the end of the day, they're gonna be a stake out here for the people that they grew up in their own community with. Huh? So you telling me I supposed to have a street code for that? I supposed to have a street code with you? When you the one that's terrorizing the city? I mean, yeah, you got other entities. I give you that. But on top of those other individuals or entities that's affecting the community, I got my own brother that's right next to me that slept on the same couch as me. You feel me? Shared lunch with, walked to school with. This gonna be the same person that's gonna come in and kill me because he's jealous of how I got it and he couldn't get it the way I have it. So what is the street code? What's the what the fuck is what's the point of that? What's the point of having a street code when the same dude you grow up with is the same one that killed you? So what's the point of having that street code? And don't tell me, oh, you snitching now. Well, everybody snitch. Ain't that part of the code? Talk to him. Talk to him. I thought that was part of the code. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else do it. Soon as you looking at them football numbers, we gonna see how gang you are. We gonna see if you still repping that stop sign front porch. We gonna see how hard you repping it now. Talk to him. It's funny, right? Because it's like you got these dudes who tell you they want you, you know, the code to the street. The code to the street. What is the code to the street, man? What is the code? Who made the code? And how I automatically get opt in to that code? Because is that the same code, right? So if you representing whatever you claiming, right? When I'm on, and this is for everybody. This is no particular entity. This is for all of them, right? That's why I say front porch stoplight street sign. So for all these people who claiming whatever the hell they claiming, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
telling me by claiming whatever I claim with you, I'm gonna get some type of support, right? So you telling me I ride with you, we have this group of people or whoever, we go do all these dangerous things, right? We go do all these criminal activities, right? After we do all of them activities and I get caught, you still gonna be there to support me and my family, right?
Mm.
Cause we a gang, right? You know what I'm saying? We slime life, huh? We YSL, huh? We whatever the street that they call it is, huh? I mean, come on now. Come on now. I mean, how much more sauce do you need, man? How much more sauce do you need? I done gave y'all a whole bunch of conversation tonight. And through all these different videos, if you didn't pay attention to the common thread of the videos, the common thread was look at the power most people had in a community, even though they was doing something illegally, even though they was part of a gang or a street sign, front porch, stoplight. If if you had that much power in your community, in your neighborhood, if you would have used a little bit more for good, just imagine what you could have accomplished in a positive way. See, that's the thing that I was trying to come across with is how a person, a group of people can gather a whole bunch of people together with one common cause is to, in their case, terrorize the community. But if you would have flipped that and used that negative energy and turned it into a positive, imagine where you would have made it today. Imagine all the people that would not have passed away if you would have took that and formed you a business, opened up you a box company, opened up you a truck company, opened up you a delivery company, huh? You could have been opening up you a social media with all the money that was flowing through the hood, right? Everybody seen Snowfall, everybody seen Power. I'm just saying, the money was there, but was the smarts, was the know-how, was the sacrifice to go into something positive there. And that's why today we have a disconnect because some of those people who were able to transform and to be productive in a positive way, some are business owners, some are home owners, and they look back at their life like I started this video. You look back and see how when you grew up, the morals, the standards that the corner, the block, the front porch, the stoplight was trying to instill in you was completely wrong. And so if you 40 plus, if you 40 plus and you've been through, you know what I'm saying, some real struggles in life, and you made it out of that, you will know that for the most of us, myself included, I had to retrain my thought process. I had to retrain everything I knew, I grew up with. I had to basically withdraw myself out of that thinking so I can allow myself to learn something new. I ain't saying you have to forget it. That ain't what I'm saying. But you have to adapt to evolve. I want to thank y'all for watching this live. I am Sean B. Stoller. Till next time. Peace.